wondered how one of the most brilliant minds in history could rise to unimaginable fame and lose it all before the age of 30? This is the untold story of Steve Jobs, the man who built Apple from a small garage into a global empire, only to be forced out of his own company just 5 years later. It's a story of vision, ego, betrayal, and redemption, and how the very decade that broke him would ultimately prepare him to change the world forever. Welcome to Success Chronicles, where we explore the true stories behind the people who dared to dream big and shape the future. If you're ready to uncover the rise and fall of a tech icon, stay tuned, because this is the decade that made and broke Steve Jobs. In 1980, Steve Jobs was on top of the world. At just 25, he'd taken Apple public, becoming an instant multimillionaire and the face of the personal computer revolution. He was the visionary genius poised to change the world. And yet, by 1985, he'd be an outcast, effectively forced out of his own company just 5 years later. This is the story of the decade that both made and broke Steve Jobs. A turbulent 10-year saga of visionary marketing, revolutionary products, and a bitter power struggle that ultimately paved the way for his epic comeback. The 1980s started with a bang for Apple. On December 12, 1980, the company held its IPO, a massive financial success that made its co-founders fabulously wealthy and put Apple on the map for good. With a fresh war chest of capital, Jobs was ready to build his next insanely great product. But the decade also started with a stumble. The Apple III, announced in May 1980 and aimed at the business market, was a commercial failure. Plagued by design flaws, a direct result of Jobs' demand for a sleek case with no cooling fan, the computers literally overheated, causing chips to pop out of the motherboard. It was a humbling reminder that even for a company like Apple, success was never guaranteed. The failure put even more pressure on Jobs to deliver a true successor to the beloved Apple II. Jobs saw the future in a technology brewing at Xerox's Palo Alto Research Center, or PARC, the Graphical User Interface, or GUI. The idea was simple but revolutionary. Instead of typing cryptic commands, what if you could interact with a computer using pictures, icons, and a little pointing device called a mouse? Jobs poured this vision into a project called the Apple Lisa, but his famously